Welcome to another exciting episode of Cars with Big Boy Trev. I am Big Boy Trev, and today we're going to have an amazing show because we are sampling the brand new Changan Hunter 4x4. You don't want to miss that. But first things first, let's take a look at the highlights of today's show. This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we review Changan Auto's flagship product, the Hunter Double Cab Pickup. We check out its design, comfort, performance, and off-road capabilities. Finally, we glance over the horizon with Land Rover's Discovery's plug-in hybrid and check out Mazda's latest model, the stunning CX-60 SUV. Catch this and much more on your Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. in association with Changan Auto by Inchcape, Kenya. Now this is the key to Changan Hunter 4x4 double cab pickup, the latest entrant in this particular segment, and its prices starting at Kenya shillings 7.184 million. Do you reckon it will upstage the big boys such as the Toyota Hilux, the Ford Ranger, the Isuzu D-Max, and the Nissan Navara? Well, let's find out by taking a look at the design of this particular vehicle. And the first thing that you do notice is this massive trapezoidal grille, and of course the honeycomb mesh. It is slanted for aero efficiency, and of course the big Changan logo gives this car some je ne sais quoi. Well, if you look at it closely, what pickup does it resemble? Send us your thoughts as seen on the social media handles below. But besides that, you've got a clamshell bonnet that actually runs along with these bold lines which are all across this particular body and the surface to give this car that athletic look and feel. You have these also trapezoidal headlamps, full LEDs with fog lamps, and of course you have fog lights that are very necessary, especially if you operate in the areas of Limuru and such like areas. You have color-coded bumpers, so you can see the color-coded bumper corresponds with the body, showing that this car can do some serious off-roading, which we're going to test much later during the review. But generally, fantastic looking vehicle. It looks good, and of course the wrecked windshield also ensures that the vehicle is fuel efficient, slicing the wind like butter, and of course giving this car good fuel economy figure. So moving over to the back of the Changan pickup, the first thing you notice is the word Changan emblazoned on this rear tailgate. You have some chrome on the handle, which actually opens very well and closes quite easily. And then the Hunter, which is the model derivative of this particular pickup, you have this lower bumper, which actually has some bits of stainless steel and chrome. Again, you discuss some je ne sais quoi. But it's time for us to get inside and of course feel what the car can do. Is this designed well for your family? Does it correspond with your business? Let's get inside of a Changan Hunter pickup and see what it has in store for us. Welcome to Cars with Big Boy Trev news segment. We give you a lowdown of what's happening across the world. Our first news item comes from the world of Land Rover, where they're introducing the brand new plug-in hybrid for the Discovery Sport for 2024. Now, as you know, Cars with Big Boy Trev has been an exclusive partner of Land Rover for so many years, and of course, in 2024, we're going to bring you one of the key highlights, which is this brand new plug-in hybrid by Discovery Sport. So, what does it entail? One, you have a brand new Ingenium engine, 1.5 liter turbo petrol that produces 147 kilowatts and paired with an electric battery that is equivalent of 80 kilowatt hours. So the total power output is exactly 227 kilowatts and 540 newton meters of torque. Now that will just give that car some pizzazz, some vavoom, some power. And of course, the real range of that mild hybrid technology is going to be about 60 kilometers, which is very good for city running. So good in traffic, it will give you enhanced fuel consumption, of course, acceleration, because the power kicks in when you need that power. So obviously, as you do know, that Land Rover is actually sold and serviced by Inchcape, Kenya. So make sure you get all the inquiries if you're looking to upgrade your current Discovery Sport for the new version. Visit them along Westlands, and they'll be giving you details about this brand new plug-in hybrid courtesy of Land Rover. On to our second news item. It's all about the world of Mazda. The car in front of you is always a Mazda CX-5, according to Kenyans. Kenyans have a love affair with the Mazda CX-5. Basically, it's because of the Kodo design, and people love that design. But now they're introducing a brand new version of a brand new model. It's called the CX-60 by Mazda, and of course, it's going to come in different derivatives. The most important thing is they're introducing 6-cylinder diesel. So the 3.3 Takumi inline 6 will produce about 187 kilowatts and 540 newton meters of torque, and of course, it's going to come with mild hybrid technology, 48 volts. So basically, your start-stop, and it will give you a good range of about 30 to to 40 kilometers. So we know that Mazda are trying really hard to impress people in terms of design, and of course they're moving up market. But the biggest question is, will that car do well in Kenya? Well, I have some news for you. The new Mazda dealer in Kenya is Crown Motors. So the showroom will be on Mombasa Road. So if you want details about this Mazda CX-60, please make sure you visit them along Mombasa Road. They'll be giving you details about this brand new Mazda. So welcome to Kazi Big Boy feedback segment, where we read all your comments and take in to ensure that the show becomes successful more than ever. So we jump into our first comment. Actually, we're going to Facebook, which, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please go to CBBT_TV on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube. So our first comment is CBBT rocks, I can't wait. That is from a gentleman called Mushiri wa Joroge. And of course, you do have Piti Mbele, my good friend from South Africa. Good one. Will make an effort to catch it whenever possible. Thank you so much. So we watch the show, everybody globally and in Nairobi. We thank you for the support as always. And of course, there's a gentleman called Kim Stylex. Let's do this. I mean, thank you for the heads up. We love the fact that you really appreciate the work that we do. And finally, we do have another comment that is very, very interesting. There's a guy called Mwangi Wanjipu, and he says, good music to my ears. I loved your show big time. Can't wait to see the brand new season. Consider us giving an insight on zero mileage cars and electric cars from China. Well, say no more, because Kazi Big Boy is going to give you a lowdown of all the electric cars that are coming into the country, and of course, review the new models that are coming in. We're at the Changan Auto showroom. There are plenty of vehicles, as you can see behind, and we're going to give you a lowdown of each and every single vehicle and many more other brands that are coming into the market. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for your feedback. If you have any questions, comments, or queries in regards to the show, please send us your thoughts as seen on the social media handles below. CBBT_TV on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We're able to read the comments and assimilate them to make the show the best show in Africa. We give you extensive and exclusive reviews courtesy of Kazi Big Boy. So guys, you've seen from the walk around the design perspective of the Changan Hunter: robust, tough, and of course got butch looks. Does that design correspond from the interior? We step inside and have a look at this plush cabin. The first thing you do notice is the use of extensive hard plastic. There's a reason why they use that, because this particular vehicle is going to exceed in a space where there's plenty of dust, so it will be easy to clean. But the most important thing visually is the fact that they've introduced a trapezoidal design on everything. The vents are trapezoidal. If you look at the grille, they correspond. But the highlight of this particular dashboard is this 12.3 multi-touch multimedia interface. Now, what does it have? It's got something called Cell Connect, which I'm going to show you much later. You have a radio. Basically, you can tune into your FM station. You can actually pair your phone using Bluetooth and use it quite easily to be safe on the road. And of course, finally, you have car settings. Car settings are the vehicle dynamics. You're able to see what the car is doing at any given time. So you adjust the doors, the auto lock style, etc. But the highlight, again, is the Cell Connect, which basically allows you to mirror whatever is on your phone onto the screen, so you become productive while on the go. So I've already just done that. So I select Connect, and voila, the vehicle now is using the Android system that is already been downloaded on the phone, and it is translated here. So basically, you're able to stream music via Spotify, mirror your phone, make phone calls, maps as well. I'll just click here for maps. It will tell you complete mirroring, whatever, etc. Yes, and so many other applications. So basically, when you're out there, traversing the beautiful country of Kenya, you still remain very, very versatile, able to answer calls, do Zoom calls while in this Changan pickup. The Hunter is a fantastic example of what practicality means in every sense of way, from digital to physical. Now, let's talk about the vents as well. The AC, you have big vents that waft air. So if you're in Limuru and you feel very cold, you can crank up the heat, and of course the air will come out hot. And of course, if you're in Mombasa and you need cooling, then the AC is ice cold. So it will give you that, a pleasurable cabin experience at any given altitude. Right below the AC, you have some toggles here, some buttons that make it look like a jet fighter. Maybe it's a Chengdu J15 or J20 super jet from China. I don't know, but it looks looks amazing. So you can actually toggle the buttons. You have hill descent control, you have stability control, then you can lock and unlock the doors, and of course the hazard side. You also do have 6-speed automatic transmission that's here, and it's got sport and eco modes. So sport when you want power, eco when you're cruising in the city, and of course you have Tiptronic just in case you need extra power or you want to lock a gear for off-roading. That we're going to discuss much better. So we move to this particular, the handbrake console. There are 2 cup holders, big cups, and a flask can fit there. You have handbrake, the traditional one. Moving over to the instrument binnacle, this is where the magic happens. And I like the fact that you have keyless entry as standard in this particular vehicle, and of course this particular instrument binnacle. The trapezoidal design still carries on with this instrument cluster. On the left-hand side is the speedometer, interesting design. And the right-hand side you have the tachometer, which tells you the engine revs. And in between you have a monochrome display that actually gives you details of what's happening. So it will tell you who's not wearing safety belt, it will tell you cruise control functionality, it will tell you range, it will tell you what gear it is, and many other functionalities that you can control using this particular vehicle. Now, the steering wheel, I love the fact that it's cladded in leather, 3-spoke design. And I have the piano black finish with the Changan logo in the middle, gives this car some je ne sais quoi. Thank you very much. So, big boy is 6'1". This car has plenty of space. As I mentioned earlier, the seats are electronically controlled, both seats. I love the fact that they've used black stitching, perforated leather. So this leather, I mean, it just gives this car some premiumness, some look and feel, as you can see here. And the seats are sculpted for long distances. So rest assured, if you're traveling from Mombasa to Kisumu, you'll be able to relax quite easily in the Changan Hunter. But how practical is the rear space? Let's move to the back and have a look at the practicality of the rear sitting space in the Changan Hunter. You're watching Cars with Big Boy Trev in association with Changan Auto by Inchcape, Kenya. You're watching Cars with Big Boy Trev in association with Changan Auto by Inchcape, Kenya. So moving over to the back, and the first thing I notice is space, because me, I'm very critical of space. So this seat has been set to 6'1", my original height. And I can tell you, the legroom is fantastic. The headroom is fantastic as well. So anybody who's bigger and larger than me, then this particular Changan Hunter is very spacious. Different than the competition. That's one thing you need to highlight. The seats are well sculpted, they've got leather as well perforated, and they feel like you're able to go long distances without getting tired. And of course, you're able to sit 3 people abreast because the transmission tunnel is very low. So 3 people will sit quite comfortably in this Changan Hunter. Not only that, you have 3 headrests, which are actually, number 1, prevent whiplash and make the journey more comfortable. But if you're sitting 2 people, then you just retract the armrest and you're able to relax quite easily. 2 cup holders for your drinks as you traverse the beautiful country of Kenya. Not only that, if you actually remove that, you have isofix anchors. Now, if you have a child, the child seat will fix in quite easily in this particular Changan or Shan, because remember, the back space is where the child is safe. So the child seat will fit quite easily and be able to make sure that your loved ones are safe while in this Changan. But in case all hell breaks loose, then you can rely on the 6 airbags, 2 at the front, 2 on this front side, and of course you have a curtain airbag that runs across to prevent head and thorax injury in case of a rollover. So Changan have thought about safety, because remember, Changan means lasting safety. That's their running call. Now, how much can this car carry? How much capacity is this particular load bay of the Changan Hunter? Let's move to the load area and see what this vehicle is made of. So moving over to the load area, I can tell you for a fact, from the first impression, the first thing you do see is this particular vehicle has a deeper and wider loading area. So if I open the tailgate, it reveals a deep space. So this particular vehicle has been licensed to carry about 1 ton, but you can actually carry 1.2 tons, meaning you have less trips for your business, or if you're carrying stuff for your family, you're able to carry much more in this particular Changan. They have a load lining that prevents water from rusting the critical elements of the load area. Plus, you're able to customize the rear part. You have this roll bar, you can have a tonneau cover or a roller shutter, depending on what you want. So it's time for us to head out and feel the power of this 2-liter turbo diesel, 150 horsepower, 350 Newton meters via a 6-speed automatic. Feel the power, feel the performance, and then get you to value for money. Let's go. So guys, today is such a beautiful day. We are sampling the Changan Hunter 4x4 pickup, the latest entrant in the 4x4 space. And I am certain that it's going to shake up the market. But how will it do that? We take a look at its DNA. We start with the engine. So up front, you do have a 1.9 liter turbo diesel that produces 110 kilowatts or 150 horsepower and 350 newton meters of torque. That when you put your right foot down, it pulls effortless. You can tell the grunt. I'm already doing 100 kilometers an hour, and it's pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. So power is sent to the four wheels courtesy of a 6-speed automatic transmission that allows you to explore the full potential of the engine, plus return a good fuel economy figure of roughly 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers. This is a diesel, so obviously the benefits of having a diesel is good fuel consumption, very important. And also it allows you to explore the full power both on and off-road. We're going to sample that much later. Let's talk about the chassis. Obviously, you know, it's a body on frame chassis that has been hardened and stiffened. Number 1, to improve ride quality. Number 2, safety purposes. Number 3, towing capacity. Speaking of towing, it can tow up to 3.5 tons easily. So if it's 4x4, you're able to switch up the transmission from 2 high. 2 high is basically used during tarmac situations like this, so for fuel efficiency. 4 high, when it's selected, you select the rotary knob, and the 4 high allows you to have power on all 4 wheels. Very useful in wet, slippery roads to modulate traction. But when the going gets tougher, you stop first, select follow, then you're able to control every single thing about this particular vehicle, especially in sand or mud. And of course, you do have hill ascent and hill descent control to control your descent while navigating the bundus, which you all love doing. So 4x4, deadly. We're going to talk about later on as we go and sample it on the rocks. But in terms of the chassis, up front you do have double wishbones, and at the back you do have tapered leaf springs. So wishbones are actually used to keep the front very steady. You're able to tell what the car can do because, you know, the steering is sharp and bereft, so you don't feel like it's too off. It's centered and allows you to know where the nose is pointing at any given time. Now let's talk about safety. Safety is a critical component in this segment. Gone are the days when a pickup used to be just a contraption. This one now is full of active and passive safety features that allows you to be safe while on the road. So when you talk about active features, it's stuff that prevents you from having an accident. So obviously you do have stability control, which is the umbrella body that controls every single aspect, like ABS. So ABS is obviously anti-lock braking system, allows you to, you know, accelerate and turn without wheels locking. Very critical during emergency braking. Brake force distribution, so you don't put enough brake pressure on your pedal when braking hard. The machine does that for you so that you're able to stop safely. And of course, you do have emergency autonomous braking, which is brand new and a first on a pickup of this kind. The sensor, there's a sensor here, and you're not applying the brake, it slows down the vehicle to a complete stop. So it helps you be safe while on the road. But in case all hell breaks loose, even before that, oh sorry, I forgot, there's actually blind spot assist. So if you're getting into a lane and you haven't checked your mirrors, it will blink and warn you that there's a car on the side. Now, in case all hell breaks loose, unfortunately, you have 6 airbags, 2 at the front, 2 on the front seats, and of course curtain airbags that run across the cabin to prevent injury from occurring. And of course you have 3-point seat belts, isofix anchors, and not forgetting a 5-star rated body shell that protects and dissipates impact energy away from the cabin or to the harder parts of the chassis, keeping you and your family safe while in the Changan. So safety is key. That's why the tagline goes as Changan, lasting safety. So we're gonna step out off the beaten track and feel and see what the 2 high, 4 high and 4 low ratios can do for the Changan. Check out ground clearance and of course its handling capacity in terms of suspension, articulation while off-road. See you in a bit. All right, we've just done an on-road test, feeling the performance and the power of the Changan Hunter. We've seen it's got a lot of oomph from the 1.9 liter turbo diesel. You've got 350 newton meters on tap, and of course the 4-wheel drive. Suspension is fantastic, chassis is good, and now the remaining part is to confirm whether the chassis can adapt to our local Kenyan conditions. That has brought us to Ngong Hills, which simulates a typical rural setting in Kenya. So what we've done, we've just stepped out of the highway, got into the hill, and now it's time to sample the different things about the 4x4 hardware. So let's talk about the suspension. So basically, I mentioned earlier, the double wishbones are to keep the tires planted on the front, but also has similar work for off-road. It allows for good wheel articulation, and of course at the back you have leaf springs that absorb the road imperfections, ensuring that you can carry load and have a comfortable ride in the Changan Hunter. Now when you speak about the four-wheel drive setting, there's quite a number of things. So this particular vehicle has something called shift on the fly. What do I mean by that? Shift on the fly system is a four-wheel drive system that allows you to modulate traction between the both axles by simply toggling through a dial. So over here you can see there are two dials. There's one here that has 2 high. That is a setting that you normally use during highway driving or smooth driving. It promotes fuel efficiency. Then you have 4H or 4 high. 4 high sends power to all the 4 wheels. Remember, 2 high rear-wheel drive only. 4H sends power to all 4 wheels and allows you to have maximum traction in situations where you need traction, like a slippery surface on wet tarmac or grass. It will be able to do that and modulate the traction quite easily. Then you have follow. If you run out of talent and you get yourself stuck in a rut or in a mud area, then you select follow by stopping, all right, and then engaging the vehicle in neutral. And then after that, you toggle down to follow, wait for the signal to show you that follow is locked, and off you go. So basically, it allows you to drive the car, modulate the traction, because wheel spin is the enemy of traction. So it modulates that quite easily, allowing you to traverse in any type of terrain, mud, rut, sand, anything that Kenya has, this particular Changan Hunter can do. So there's something called crawl control that allows you to modulate the speed as you check, okay? This is how you do it. So you control the vehicle. You see what the vehicle can do over there. So basically it tells you the direction. So it modulates the speed quite easily, because crawl control or hill assist allows you to check the car quite easily while traversing the beautiful country of Kenya, seeing all the obstacles and making sure that you can see the road as you traverse. So the engine modulates the power quite easily without any stress, and you're able to steer the vehicle and clear. This was a useful invention when cameras are not available, but still the Changan Hunter can still do this, because it is one of those capable SUVs that you can use to do a bit of off-roading. So ladies and gentlemen, that has been the review of the Changan Hunter double cab pickup, courtesy of Changan Auto by Inchcape, Kenya. So I love the fact that, number 1, it's stylish. Number 2, it's got plenty of performance to boot. Very practical. Number 4, the level of technology and safety is outstanding. The question is, would you pick this over the big boys such as the Hilux, the Ranger, the D-Max? We start this particular review by taking a look at the value for money proposition as to why perhaps this could be your next pickup. We start with the pricing. Now, this particular pickup is sold and serviced by Changan Auto by Inchcape, Kenya, and of course the price is 7.184 million Kenya shillings. Plus you can rely on Changan Auto by Inchcape, Kenya's extensive support across the country to maintain this particular Changan. And of course, to denote the fact that Changan is here to stay, it's a brand that is fantastic and offers value for money. So finally, we do know that this particular pickup exists in a space where there's so much competition. What are the key rivals? Starting from the big boys, the Toyota Hilux, the Ford Ranger, the Isuzu D-Max, and many more that in this particular category. And of course, the entry-level ones like the Mahindra, Scorpio pickup, and others. So would you pick this particular Changan Hunter over the rest? Send us your thoughts as seen on the social media handles, and we'll get back to you the feedback next week. And just as a side note, please remember to catch the show immediately after this airing. Go straight to YouTube. You'll find this particular episode and many more courtesy of Cars Big But. We've done thousands of reviews to ensure that you remain informed to make the best decision whether you're going to buy any car that you're looking for. So make sure you follow us on our social media handles, CBBT_TV. Follow Inchcape Kenya as well. They will also be able to give you all the details about this particular pickup and the rest of the Changan range. So until next week, drive safe and be safe.